Welcome to Service Done Right, a podcast dedicated to transforming the service industry. I'm your host, DJ Biersack, and I'm joined by Reach CEO and founder, Greg Biersack.
DJ, as always, great to be with you.
Likewise, I'm looking forward to talking a little bit more about Reach as a whole, as a company, and where Reach is going and why it has gotten to the place that it has. And a lot of that has to do with the innovative approach to not only the model as a whole, but also to the way that technology is used within Reach. And so could you tell me just some things about where that started, how that looks on a day-to-day basis, and then we'll go into a little bit more on what that looks like moving forward for Reach.
I felt like the industry was mostly stuck in the 50s or the 60s, right? That it was how things were done were very traditional, and that we were going to break that. Right, we were going to break that model and we were going to do things completely differently because the way it was being done, and the way it's done for a number of people still, it's not great for the technicians and it's not great for the clients. And we said, let's innovate so it is great for the technician, but it is great for the client. And it's been cool proving that that's possible. And so, things like having a dedicated technician for a client, right, generally doesn't exist, within the industry. The ability for that client to be able to use technology that really supports them. All of those types of things are these innovations that exist within the industry. Really diving in and doing preventive maintenance at a extremely thorough level in a way that hadn't been done before. Yes, there's been some people that have done like vacuums or compressors, but we still going to take it to a whole different level, right? And at A to Z on what we call recares is very innovative. So innovation's been great. Even to the point where when you think about how a technician is compensated and their role and responsibility, never been done before. And so it's cool for those guys who are producing at a really high level, that they're rewarded at a really high level, and cool to innovate that way as well.
Absolutely. Can we spend a little bit of time talking about the technology specifically? And so what different things exist within Reach on the technology side that make Reach, again, inherently different and a step above, a step ahead in terms of everything, that make it even easier to request and receive service, and then also on the other end of that, for the guys to be able to do service. What are the tools and different things technology-wise that exist that are very the innovative and different?
Yeah. And so we wanted things to be easy. I'm glad that you mentioned the word easy, because you can use technology to make things so much easier for the client. So from the very get-go, we developed a thing called Reach Connect. It's a web app that our clients go to request service. I didn't want a dispatcher model. I wasn't interested in that. I wanted something where the client could very easily go into Reach Connect and say, here's the item, here's the problem, here's our urgency. They push a button and it goes directly to their technician. And now that technician gets it right away. They can see what the problem is, they can see what the urgency is, and they can work to resolve it. Sometimes they take care of it, right away over the phone, right? Saving a service call. But having that information quickly helps those technicians be able to provide the highest level of service. So Reach Connect was important. And then what we wanted to also do is we wanted to build into it a number of different things. So how they load the payment method is within Reach Connect. All of the invoices that they've had from us are all there within Reach Connect. Reach Tips, we've talked about that in past episodes. They can get access to Reach Tips within Reach Connect as well. And so making that process really easy for clients was very important to us. And using that technology was unique and different within the industry. Maybe just a little other example. We challenged ourselves to say, how can we innovate how handpiece repair is done? Because our technicians take care of handpieces for our clients. And, I took a look to see what was being done in the industry, and it was pretty old and clunky, the processes that were used, boxes and call tags. And I mean, there was one place you had to watch a video to know how to do a handpiece repair. So we're not having anybody watch a video on how to do a handpiece repair. I said, what I want is I want people to push a button. That's it. Can't make it any easier. And so in Reach Connect, our clients hit a button that says handpiece repair. That sends an immediate signal to the technician. Hey, this client has a handpiece that needs to be repaired. Client doesn't need to do anything other than that. In total, they push a button, technician picks it up, repairs it, drops it off, client gets invoiced, right? So that was the kind of innovation that I wanted to be able to have so that things could be really easy for our clients.
It's so cool hearing all of the parts of the process that help Reach to be so different, and for it to create that ease and that reduction of stress that you always talk about. Is that how can you reduce stress as well as make things easier, or make things even non-existent of a thought, that all I need to do when I need a handpiece is not I have to go through this process and I got to remember how to do something. I just hit a button, like you're saying, and then problem solved. And so that is very different and very innovative. And the last thing I want to talk about is just kind of where you see Reach going as a company, with whether it's a company as a whole or with the technology elements that we were talking about, just over the next 5, 10 plus years. Where do you see Reach going, and what are some of those innovative things that you have your eye on of what you'd like to do in terms of what we do for service, for dental service, but then also how that can expand and go beyond that for service as a whole, and what some of those innovative things are. I know that you mentioned a few things in the past. Would love to hear your perspective and your thought on some of those different things that will help Reach continue to grow and make it easier for more and more people across the country and world potentially.
Yeah, thanks for that question, because that's something we're always thinking about, right? That when you try to be visionaries as a company, you're always thinking out ahead and what challenges exist, what opportunities exist. And so one of the things that is, that a lot of companies, a lot of manufacturers are working on right now is IoT, the Internet of Things. And how do you tie that equipment and what's happening with that equipment to someone so that good decisions can be made regarding that equipment? And it's fun that now manufacturers are coming to us, right? That they see Reach as, oh, this is the service company. These guys know how to do service, and we're going to go to them to see what would be the best way to do IoT. And so it's great working with a handful of manufacturers to encourage them to make it so that a client gets to choose who those signals go to, who that information goes to. And for those manufacturers to understand, and this is what we advocate for, is that the best place for that to go to is to that client's service technician, right? So that, example, a compressor goes into the yellow zone for temperature, right? And now that sensor picks up that, hey, this temperature on this compressor is going into a potentially unsafe area. Where does that signal go? And we advocate it should go to their tech, because now that tech can get it. They can click on a link, they can see exactly what's going on, and they know what to do to address it. It doesn't have to go through a process of ultimately trying to get to the technician who can take care of it. And so for me, IoT and where things are going and our role in being able to drive that direction within the industry is something that I think is going to be very innovative as the industry drives forward. And then I guess the last piece that I would add would be the model that we've created at Reach could really be applied to any industry, right? A model where technicians get supported and rewarded. A model where the technicians can be happy. A model where clients, whatever the industry is, know that they have that technician who's dedicated to them. A model where those technicians are thinking proactive, rather than just be reactive. And our ability to be able to take the success that we have within the dental industry and be able to offer that to other industries. So both those technicians have a better career, and so that the clients that are within that industry also get better service. So the innovations that we're putting in place here now on the dental side, it's going to be fun to see those innovations applied in other industries.
Absolutely. All of these different parts of what make the Reach model so different. It's fun to think about how it can scale within the current situation within dental, but to see where that could go and how that can make a positive difference for so many other people in industries is really exciting. So thank you for taking the time to share more about all the different innovations within Reach. And I know there's so many more that we weren't able to touch on in this short period of time, but seeing it at a glance with everything you were saying today was really special. So once again, thank you for sharing that with us today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Cool. And thank you again for joining us for another episode of Service Done Right. This is a podcast dedicated to transforming the service industry. I'm your host, DJ Biersack, and I'm joined by Reach CEO and founder, Greg Biersack.
DJ, once again, great to be with you.
Thanks so much.